goes for any parent watching a show. Just like I said, is if you look at it, it's quite simple. Any parent watching a kid's education show, usually the parents are watching with the kids just to make sure what's up. So the parent could just be sitting there and like, oh, okay, here's a show where, all right, there's a family, black family doing their thing. There's a black doctor over there, a black scientist over there, or there's a whatever. It's not an issue. It's just a thing. It's normal. I was I wanted to show most boring stuff, like just this is just life, right? It's not it's just a thing. So that's why some but I also wanted to make sure that if you notice, the show is in modern, quote unquote, nothing wrong with Asian, by the way, but it's set more in an urban environment. Mm-hmm. It's set more. I stupid this in my sound, but I was strategic with this because growing up, I had people asking me stuff like, even today, I know some of my friends with their kids again and saying, like, oh, do you have kind of roles do you have in Africa? Or do you have this? Or do you have that? I'm like, are we really asking these questions now, today, in the age of YouTube, Google it. But okay, if he's that lazy, like I said, I'm trying to represent with the show. So I'm trying to represent an image. Listen, every society, every place has its good, bad, this, that, whatever. But as we all know, we've had a lot of bad painted from wherever, yeah, parts of bad exists. I get it, no problem. But where's the good? Where has that good been shown? Where has other normal of just a normal African family? They're not, and I'm not, by the way, I'm not discounting the experiences of those who are impoverished in war zones in crazy parts of the continent where that needs to be addressed, but that's not our only story. So, and that's been the only story being fed to the rest of the world, and even us through the mechanisms of the strongest media powerhouses in the world, right? Because even in Nigeria, we watch what's coming from outside. We watch the CNNs, we watch the Foxes, we watch the whatever. So yeah, so my own little way, I was just like, okay, if I can just break through that, just break to the kids, just break through to homes and just essentially just show something different, which isn't different here. It's not different here. The president's black, the doctors are black, the nurses are black, the drivers are black. It's not an issue. It's not, so, but for a lot of places around the world, that's almost like it's like a fantasy thing. Is they're rather more comfortable watching a cartoon show with talking animals based in Africa rather than seeing just black Africans just living in all. You'd be surprised. I mean, it's a weird one. Maybe you wouldn't be, but let's say even in the world of children's media, we've hit a lot of walls. So that's why I said, yeah, simple goal, where possible, those little kids' minds, and I have kids now myself, I see how they soak up stuff. I'm like, yo, okay, what kind of good food can I put into their mind that comes and that represents us well?